What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here after the NFL draft, breaking down Atlanta's UDFA signings because that is what Sunday after the draft is reserved for. It's UDA Tracker Day. So we're going to go through each undrafted free agent signing that Atlanta has made, along with some invites to rookie minicamp. Now, keep in mind that UDFAs are a very fluid thing. Guys get added, guys get removed. So if something has changed since we posted this video, you now know why. So let's start things off with a running back, Carlos Washington from Southeast Louisiana. Now, there's not a whole lot out there on Mr. Washington. My notes tell me that he started his career at New Hampshire, and then he transferred to Southeast Louisiana. And now with the Falcons, he is in a crowded running back room, which is not ideal necessarily for a UDFA to try and poke through and make the active 53-man roster. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Cordero Patterson are all roster locks right there. So unless they bring four, his best case is likely a practice squad spot. We're gonna look at the other guys in just a moment, but help us reach our next subscriber milestone. We're trying to reach 12,000 subs. If you have not, subscribed, go ahead and do so and get more off-season coverage all year long. Now, our next UDFA is Justin Marshall, wide receiver out of Buffalo. Another guy where there's not a ton out there, I can tell you this much. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. He is from the Peach State, so a little bit of a homecoming right there. You'd love to see that. Now, originally started his career at Louisville, and then he spent 5 years there before transferring to Buffalo, where he would put up 837 yards and 9 touchdowns. Now, usually you do not make UDFA signings based on positions of need all that much, right? You're just trying to find good talent that somehow escaped the draft. But Atlanta did not draft a wide receiver, and that surprised me. So don't be shocked if maybe Mr. Marshall or the next guy we're going to talk about have a decent path to cracking the 53-man roster. And that brings us to the Oklahoma Baptist wide receiver, Keilahn Harris. Now, another guy where there's not a ton out there on him. Went to Oklahoma Baptist, a D2 college. He's actually a D2 legend. Like, if you look at his accolades, it's a long list of awards he's won in the Division II community. He had over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns last season for Oklahoma Baptist. So 2 wide receivers added right there. If you want to be the smart guy at the water cooler, like, hey, do any of these guys have a shot at making the roster? Maybe one of the wide receivers. That seems to be an open room right there. Now, we're going to talk about the other players, and you're going to want to hear about this next guy in just a moment. But the Bijan Robinson jerseys are out there. Now, we don't have the number yet because he has not picked his number. But once he does pick his number, well, if you order a Bijan Robinson jersey, they will send you that jersey once the number is in. So you're not going to get a number 1 jersey. He can't be number 5. That belongs to Drake London, so we'll have to wait and see what number he does end up picking. But go to chatsports.com/BijanATL. Links in the comments and the description of today's video. Once again, once that number choice is in, these are just pre-order jerseys, so then Fanatics will mail you your jersey with that number on the back. Moving on to our next UDFA, and this is a guy I think has a good chance of making the roster, actually. It's an edge rusher out of Rice. Now, it is, I'm going to get this pronunciation down correctly, Ikenna Enechukwu. Yeah, something like that. I rehearsed it, and then I butchered it. But he is an edge rusher out of Rice, and I like it. I like him. I think he's got a good shot of actually cracking this 53-man roster. A little bit of a blurb on him. He's 6'4", 264 pounds. He was a longtime player at Rice, 30 career starts, started pretty much every game the last 2 seasons. He was invited to the Shrine Bowl. He graduated with his degree in kinesiology as we get into the weeds. Overall, he is a 3 technique / 5 technique. Maybe you move him around based on which down it is. But this is a player that I think could make this 53-man roster. If I had to make a prediction with a gun to my head, this would probably be the guy. So just keep that in the back of your head. Like I said, He had a lot of time playing at Rice, 23 career tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. So, Ikenna, that is my prediction / my pick if I had to make one to make the 53-man roster. Next guy up here is Mike Jones Jr., linebacker out of LSU. Now, here are some interesting notes on Mike Jones that we've got for you. He went to IMG Academy, so big-time commit coming out of high school. He went to Clemson, transferred to LSU. He played pretty much every linebacker position for the Tigers, filling in at various roles with making a lot of starts to go along with it. What I think is interesting is he transferred from Clemson to LSU, and immediately he was a team captain. So you were getting a great leader, a great work ethic, high effort type of caliber player on this 90-man roster. So don't be shocked if he is a preseason hero making plays all over the field. Now, something I want to ask you guys watching at home is, what position do you think Atlanta missed out on in the draft? If you could redo the draft, right, what's a position you'd like to see Atlanta pick that they did not over the last couple of days? Let me know what it is down in the comment section. Now, the Falcons also have rookie minicamp in about 2 weeks, and they extended some invites. Now, these are not the same as UDFAs. These are simply invites, and my guess is, of the guys we'll talk about on screen here, if any of them impress, Atlanta might extend them a UDFA contract, and then they get, I don't know, $75,000 to $100,000 guaranteed. So it's really nice, change in their pocket, $100,000 guaranteed to at least come compete for a 53-man roster spot in August. So these are the rookie minicamp invites. I find kicker kind of interesting. Matthew Trickett from Minnesota. No, this has nothing to do with Younghoe Koo. This is simply probably an extra leg in camp. Maybe Arthur Smith has some connection to the family. A lot of times, some of these rookie minicamp invites are, hey, we like this guy. Can we get him here so that other NFL teams can kind of have them on their radar? Some film can be put out there, right? They can sort of be on everyone's radar, like I said, and maybe another team could pick him up if they have a position of need and an injury pops up and they go, hey, what about that one linebacker at the Falcons rookie minicamp? I've got some connections in Atlanta. Let's see if he'd be a good fit for us. If you ever watch Hard Knocks, you know that teams often pass along very nice things to other teams regarding players that don't make the roster, because they're not trying to sabotage players so that the other team doesn't get a good guy. So a lot of times these minicamp invites are, every once in a while, just an extension to try and help players get some film out there and some notoriety for their name. So let me have you predict this rather. Is it obvious that I am going off 5 hours of sleep right now after 3 days of the NFL draft? I don't even think I'm speaking half English here. How many Falcons UDFAs will make the final roster? They only have 5 at the moment, so it's not a big pool to pick from. Put me down for one. Gotta love a good UDFA making the 53-man roster. Ikenna is my prediction. Let me know what yours is in the comment section. We're going to sign off, let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much, by the way, for hanging out with us all draft weekend long. If you subscribed during the draft, happy to have you with us here at Falcons Today. And if you have not subscribed, you know the YouTube cliche, jargon lingo, hit that sub button down below.